My name is Ronita Coleman. I'm the co-founder of LJ Golden Realty, and we're standing in front of Casa del Rey.
So, Ronita, you and I met at a ULI, Urban Land Institute
Yes,
event,
we did.
And then realized how many people we have
In common. Mm-hmm.
And you started developing when?
I would say I started in residential development in my early 20s.
Wow.
I purchased my grandparents' home that just happened to be on a foreclosure block, and it had a lot of family history to it. So that's where I started. From there, I was relocated with General Motors. I have a background in mechanical engineering. I worked for General Motors for 24 years, a lot of it in global supply chain. So between my husband and I, we have 3 decades of experience in global purchasing and supply chain. But from there, when I was relocated to each spot, I would purchase a foreclosed home, fix it up while I lived there, and then move on. And then when I came to Michigan, I met my husband, and he signed up, and he was okay with continuing this journey of real estate development.
Awesome, because a lot of people who are developers, especially for housing, started that way. The single family home approach, kind of churn that around for a while and then dive into something bigger. This is a lot bigger than what the norm is.
Yes.
I also know that you went through the Women Sustainable Development Initiative to be trained.
And We Build. So We Build is Women Empowered to Build. That's a cohort between WSDI and SENER, which is a CDFI.
I know SENER. SENER
Yes.
is all about affordable housing. So when you did this development, how did you structure your affordability?
Good question. Because for those that are familiar with development, it's almost cheaper to build from the ground up than it is to revitalize a century-old building like this. So it was a collaboration between the city, between the county, and different state entities, along with the CDFIs. That's what makes it affordable.
So this is not a LISC.
This is not a LISC.
Or LIHTC, I'm sorry.
It's a LIHTC, and it's not a LIHTC. So it's our affordability is in the range of 80% to 100% AMI.
Okay.
So it's affordable. And within Oakland County, this is not the richest city in Oakland County, but it's still affordable for the county and for this city.
Well, that is good because, yes, most communities get their data from the county,
Yes.
which always includes other demographics.
Birmingham, maybe?
Maybe.
Yes, it does.
Bluefield Hills, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, those come to mind.
Yes.
But you were able to attain an AMI that was within a decent range for
Yes.
Pontiac.
Yes.
And this is a historic district, which makes the rehab extra difficult because of the parameters that they put on developers.
Yes. So it's in a historic community. So the facade, the exterior, we had to get bought off before we can even come to the table and go to closing, because if we can't get approval from the city, you can't complete your project.
No, that's kind of where brokers come in handy.
Yes.
Managing deals that have that kind of flow, because no owners want to sit on properties waiting for people to get their approvals, their entitlements, their subsidies, or what have you.
Yes.
So when you say the city of Pontiac participated, how did they participate?
Oh, in many ways, right? When you come to any municipality, you have the Historic District Committee that we had to pass.
Yeah.
You have the City Council that you have to get passed.
Which can also be very difficult because in my experience, City Council doesn't always understand development.
Yes, yes.
And communities don't understand development.
Yes.
So.
And the relationships, right? So the economic manager of the city, economic development manager, she had to be on board. The mayor has to be on board. So those relationships and those teams of approvals, if you will, they have to all align in order for a project to get kicked off. And this building had been sitting for 2 decades.
And this building is 51 units or more.
Yes, so baseline is 50 units, but as we did some engineering, some development engineering, we've could potentially have 54 units.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yes, yes.
Maximize your square footage
Yes.
monetarily. So in addition to the city of Pontiac being on board,
So not just the city, municipality, we have to think about the community, right? So we have given sort of our take on what we could do with this building because they have to buy off on it too. They have the district committees, and these are people in the community. And they've seen a lot of people fall at the hands of this building trying to develop it, whether they cut corners or things of that nature. So to win them over was a bit difficult, but at the same time, I think we had a solid plan to get their buy-in.
well, you have to engage.
Yes, community
Engagements.
engagement has to be there, and we've been engaged. We're also reaching out to the community to understand maybe what they would like to see in the building. How can they contribute from a historic standpoint? Like I said, this is a century-old building. We're looking for them to volunteer to do some of the landscaping, so we're really engaging them in the process as well.
Well, that is going to take you a long way. And because normally you would find a building like this in the downtown district, not in a neighborhood. And this neighborhood is clearly residential.
Yes,
And
yes,
they have strong opinions.
yes.
So you obviously did something right if you've come this far. And it looks like you're under demolition right now.
Correct. So demolition, we've taken out all the ceilings because we have to run our HVAC and electrical and plumbing throughout. We've also abated the building, so we got rid of all the asbestos and all the lead. So next step, in this month, we will submit the plans to the city for the building approval, and we're looking to be under full construction at the end of April.
So is there brownfield credits here?
Yes, Brownfield TIF.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's going to keep your taxes down.
Yes. Yep. So Brownfield TIF, it took us a long way, as well as the city giving us some tax incentives as well.
Oh, for affordability or for just...
Excuse me. So they gave us not the Oprah. They gave us the
historic tax credits?
no, not historic tax credits. It'll come to me.
Oh, the NEZ?
NEZ. There
Yeah,
you go.
yeah, that'll-
Because no more pilots.
No.
No more pilots.
No.
But they gave us the NEZ.
Well, hopefully when you need a pilot, they'll pass a pilot.
Right.
Because
Right.
that's usually made to help fill that gap between when the NEZ expires and your taxes have already been kept low
Yes.
and you're in affordability range. The pilot will then have
Kick
to be
in.
like a substitute for continuing that.
Correct.
Otherwise, all these developments will fail. They won't be sellable because the cash flow will have been impacted so significantly in a negative fashion.
Yes.
So
Yes.
awesome. Obviously, we're thinking ahead.
Yes. Yes. You have to. Right? It has to pencil out. Not just the first and second year. We got to think 20, 30 years down the road. So.
Yes, because
Yes.
this is a long hold, not a
Yes.
short hold.
Correct. Correct.
So you've got your funding,
Yes.
and that's through,
Oh, so our capital stack is pretty deep. So let's start off with the county. The county gave us, I'm not going to give you the numbers, but so Oakland County Land Bank helped us with this property,
the acquisition.
the acquisition.
Okay.
And then we have Oakland County that were able to contribute. Then we have the CDFIs, IFF, SENAIR. Then we have MISTA, MEDC. So it was like a family gathering when we had our groundbreaking because everybody was in it to win it. They wanted to see this building be a success.
And is some of that grant money?
Yes. So MISTA Missing Middle was a key contributor to this process.
So they feel that this is a community that requires
Correct.
that to be.
Correct. And I think it helps that it's nationally registered as a historic building.
Yeah, but it just makes the rehab
Yes.
tougher because like these gorgeous windows,
Yes.
you have to maintain those, right?
Well, we had to get approval from the historic district.
Okay, yeah.
And so they're going to be similar, very similar, and they're going to bring the building back to life.
It's so great.
Yes.
This is an incredible feature in this building, so
Yes.
I need to ask, what do you plan to do here?
Okay, so this vestibule is like a centerpiece of the building, right? So if you look right behind us, this used to be a waterfall. Well, we're going to bring that back to life. That will be a waterfall, and I believe it had a lion's head where the water came up. So the name of the building is Casa del Rey, meaning House of the King. So we want to bring that life. The lion is the king of the jungle, right?
Right.
And then if you look at the open areas here, we're going to engage the community again to see if we can get some historic artwork that we can put in these spaces. And if you look around, you have this beautiful tile. It's flint faience.
I can't even believe in what kind of condition that tile is in.
So you think about it, right? When people come to vandalize buildings, they're looking for copper. Maybe 2 tile were damaged in this entire building. And so this tile is over a century old. And it was built in flint. It's similar to what they have downtown Detroit.
Pewabic.
Yes,
That's what I was-
Pewabic, yes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking,
And
so.
we thought it was Pewabic, but Pewabic has a historian in-house, and she was able to help us track down exactly which type of tile this was. So all of this is going to stay. If you look at the curvature in the ceilings, you can't find this architecture too many places. So we're going to savor the history of this building, especially in this area.
Do you think there's a possibility this could be a common area for the public, you know, like a...
We've talked about that with the GC. There's a lot of liability if we bring the public in, but we will make the common area space usable for the tenants, for sure.
Okay, that's great.